beast of the South Cave. You have terrorized the people of this fair land for far too long. I, the valiant knight Odyssey, have come to remove you, whether that be by diplomacy or force. What was that? A fellow adventurer? Trapped here by the beast? Adventurer, your voice echoes throughout the cave. Where are you? You are trapped deep within the caves? Do not worry. I will come and... I'm sorry. I simply cannot believe how stupid you must think I am. I see through your schemes, Drider. You hope to lure me down into your web, where I am sure you would feast on my flesh. Unfortunately for you, I came prepared for such tricks. I suspected you may lurk in the shadows, so I paid a visit to a close friend of mine, an alchemist. He gave me a potion that would allow me to see clearly, even in the absence of moon or sun. And now, I have you in checkmate. No matter how sensitive your eyes are, you still need light to see. By hiding so deep within the caves, you have rendered yourself blind. Now, dear adventurer, if you obey my commands, I can overlook your hasty attempt at a trap. Come out of the cave slowly, and I will not harm you. You must leave this land forever, but I would be generous enough to concede you your life, should you cooperate. That's a good little spider. Keep steady and I might even give you a treat. With a little Drider like that, a belly rub and some table scraps. Wow, you're a little big for table scraps, aren't you? Honestly, it looks like this one could eat the whole table. It's good you came without a fight, Drider. There may be some hope for relocation if you keep such a pleasant demeanor. Whether you wish to leave or not is irrelevant. You lost the right to stay here when you committed such atrocities against humanity. Of course you denied these allegations, just as you denied your monstrous status. I understand initially wanting to trick me, but honestly, your continued attempts at deception wound me. Please, stop begging. It's beneath you. Although, I imagine most things are beneath you. How tall are you anyway? 10 feet? 15 maybe? I suppose you wouldn't know. I doubt you've ever gotten to measure it. Kneel, Drider. I will tie this around your neck and lead you into town. Once they see that I've subdued you, I will dispose of you. If you play nice when we're in town, then I'm sure we can find a force that could sustain someone as giant as you. Do not attempt to flee now, Drider. We have almost come to an accord. Follow along with this plan, and I can assure you that you will escape without any permanent injury. What do you fear those townspeople could do to you? Not only would you be docile, but you would have the word of a knight. Any brave enough to face you will stand down out of respect. Drider, I promise you, on my vow of knighthood, if you come with me and you remain meek, then I will protect you. Excellent. Now lay still while I fix this rope. There, that should be snug around your neck. Can you still breathe? Good. When we're near town, I will bind your hands as well. Until then, I trust you can have a little freedom. Allow me to mount my horse. It is only a few minutes to town if we ride. I assume you will be able to keep pace with my horse's trot? Good. This will go smoothly then. Something has me thinking, Drider. You are massive, presumably strong, and I'm sure your exoskeleton keeps your lower half well protected. Why would you surrender so easily? You do not like to fight? I've heard of kindly Driders, but anyone would fight if threatened. And you were luring me in to fight. Why would you lose resolve so quickly? You would tell me that you weren't going to fight me in the cave? You planned to slip away once I had entered? A clever plan, I suppose. The echoes would hide your footsteps, and no one would expect a Drider to run. I guess it's a good thing I didn't buy that potion. Yes, there was no vision potion. The bottle was just spring water. No wizard worth their salt would live somewhere this off the map. And I bet every alchemist in the lands would be far too snobbish to even have an audience with me. I simply hope the old magic MacGuffin would flush you out. Oh yes, I know. All those magical types are so egotistical. Each with their own special name, acting like what they do is so much better than any other casters. I can't stand them. I'd rather be stuck with you forever than spend a day with one of those mystic pricks. Well, yes, I do mean that. Spending time with you isn't the worst, especially with how gentle you seem. I suppose it's best that way since we may be traveling for some time after we arrive at that village. Speaking of which, I probably need you to at least act scary when we arrive. You're already very different than your description. I wouldn't want people thinking I hired a Drider to fake the job. Well, yes, I suppose it is odd how different you are from your allegations. I would assume it was a trick, but you are physically different as well. The people in town couldn't agree on your color, and they told me that you were much smaller than you are. Honestly, when you emerged from the cave, I had assumed one of your offspring had committed the crimes, and you were some brood alpha coming to protect the den. What crimes did they accuse you of? Quite the myriad, truthfully. Petty theft, arson, murder, kidnapping, really just anything that would stick. Come to think of it, you wouldn't fit in the bakery for those accounts of theft. You really didn't commit those crimes, did you? I hadn't really thought about it, but when I say them all out loud, it is just a smear, isn't it? By the goddess, you were telling the truth. On my honor as a knight, I wish you my apologies. I wouldn't have acted so cruelly if I had known you were truly harmless. That's why you didn't want to come to town, wasn't it? You knew the people there want you dead, regardless of your acts. I will do my best to make this right, Drider. Once we pass through town and I am paid, I will relinquish the bounty to you. That should fund a venture beyond the human borders, with my protection, if you'd want it. Yes, I would do that for you. I imagine life has not treated you kindly, yet you remain kind. When I first saw you, I feared I had met my match, but you surrendered to avoid the fight. Your soul is good, so I hope that any mercy I can show you may help redeem what my kind has done to you. Do not thank me. What I'm doing isn't enough. We are nearing the village. Stop here and I'll bind your arms. We will parade you through town, then we will leave to the north. I have a worry, Drider. I fear some of the more brutish of the village would attack you, even with my presence. However, I believe I have a solution. If you would allow it, I would use this rope as a bridle and ride you into town. Then, you would be the mindless beast they believe you are, but none will question my choice to keep you alive. And if they do, you will have the mobility to flee. I imagine that having another on top of you may feel a little personal, but I think it's your safest option. Really? You'd allow me to tour you through town like this? Your humility is truly boundless, fair Drider. If you would truly allow it, then please, kneel down. All right, time for quite the masquerade. Just follow my lead and you'll be free before you know it. Townsmen, bring to me your elders, for I, Odyssey, have bested the Drider. Bestow me my bounty, or I will release this one upon you. Thank you, villagers. Now I will be on my way with my new conquest. Step aside. Townspeople, I behest you move. This one is quite ferocious and will not rest long. Do not approach. You will scare the beast. Stay back. Run quickly, Drider. We have the gold. We just need to put some distance between us and them. I'm sure that will be easy for you, yes? Blast the cliff's edge. I hadn't thought about the topology. This might be the end, my Drider friend. It was an honor knowing you. Oh, right. Spiders can walk on walls. I may have embarrassed myself a little here. But we got the bounty, and we should be safe from the villagers. I suppose we can be on our way from the human kingdoms. And if you'll have me, I will stay by your side throughout the journey. It wouldn't be just to abandon you. Plus, my horse is still in town, so you may be my only ride. I hope you can muster the strength to carry me, at least as far as the next town. No, I'm not doubting your strength. I'm sure you could carry me. If you couldn't, I'd be worried. You and I both know you could trounce me and those for the Jersey.